The hardest part about podcasting is this job doesn't pay yet. It's the beauty of, I need people to go online, subscribe. I need people to go, and if you want to donate, you could write it off at the end of the year. Think about it. You could support this podcast by offering or by donating $2 a month. And that'll help me do so much. Let me tell you what happens if y'all donate $2 a month for me.
Tell them what happened.
$24. That's all I'm asking for. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make it even for y'all, as in not even, and say I need $25. And sorry, y'all.
Yeah, round up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a Ken Griffey number, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, 25 is good.
Like, if I get enough people, we're talking about, hey, I get a new website. We talk about, actually, I can put in marketing dollars in places. That's what I can do with your $25. Like, I can literally, if I get enough people every month, I could pay for the website. I can literally say, I'm going to every week put in $5 and promote a post and spread this out and get enough people up on here. That's the goal.
That's hard.
So I'm looking for that.
Yeah.
But the real reason why I was saying all this is because you do get to these points where it's just like, the podcast is cool, but yeah, it's busy time. It's go time. We all photographers out here.
There you go.
Or creatives in some type of space, right? So
that part.
It's time to work. It's fall. Look, the weather is perfect for photos.
Absolutely.
Today is his first time raining in like 2 weeks in Charlotte.
That's a fact.
And before that, I think we had like 2 days where it rained, and before that we had 2 weeks of like no rain. So it's like the weather is good. It's mini session time. It's wedding season. We all busy.
I'm telling you.
You just got back from a wedding.
Yes, sir. Oh, man. It was amazing.
Hand claps for them.
Yo, shout out to my family, Anthony and Lindsay McClinney. Excuse me, Dr. Anthony.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It was crazy, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. That aged me in a way where it was like, oh, wow. The officiant goes, to announce for the first time, Dr. Anthony and Miss Lindsay McClinney. I'm like, oh, wow. Like, so much time has gone into this. My friend, he's been in med school for so long. He's still in med school. So, shout out to them, man. Yeah. But love is in the air for sure, man.
Absolutely.
Crazy out here.
So we do this thing on every podcast after one of us come from a wedding. How was the photography?
You already knew. Oh, man. So I got behind the scenes. Shout out to my guy. His name is actually Human. And I forget his socials, but he was so thorough. He was so efficient. I have already stolen and I will be looking to implement a variety of his techniques into my future weddings and my future shoots in general. He was so methodical, right?
Okay.
There were times where you thought this guy was freaking security or something. He even had to joke about it. He's like, yeah, we're not security. We're just, getting this, getting that. He knew what he was there to shoot. He knew the timing of all these things. He knew the itinerary. Mm-hmm. It was nice to see him take charge. He did not just sit back and wait for the bride and the groom. No, he was actually seemingly more of an event coordinator than an actual event coordinator at different times, man, because the bride and groom needed to be in these locations. I need to get your bridal party. I need your rings. I need your tux. I need your dress. All those things, the things that to go through just as much. He was just adamant about his process and honestly unapologetic as a photographer.
That's dope.
So he wasn't in the way, you know what I mean? But he just got it done, bro. I love high efficiency, so it was nice to see.
Did people have their phones out during the ceremony? Did you notice any of that?
Actually, I did. Okay, so I was the best man, so I was the second guy walking down. I didn't get a good overview of the whole crowd. I do know of one particular person who had their phone out because there's only one way they got this footage. But ideally, it was supposed to be a silent wedding. What do you call it?
Unplugged.
Unplugged wedding. Yes. It was intended to be an unplugged wedding, and I think that was fulfilled to the greatest degree it could be. Keeping in mind it was live streamed as well. So
okay, then.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's kind of a
I always hate when hold on, y'all, I got to burp. Excuse me.
Y'all maybe clear my throat here and there, so excuse me.
So I always hate when people do this thing of recording shit, because I'm like, yo, what y'all doing with this footage?
Yeah.
What you doing with it? The picture, this is a photography podcast, but just in case you're not, the picture y'all taking during weddings, the videos that y'all getting during the weddings, y'all delete that as soon as your storage is up. Like, you delete it. You don't watch it after that day.
Yeah.
Because it's tough, because as creators, I don't know, it's maybe tough for us to promote this because this is what we do. Like, it is a lot of people, like, after their wedding day, they don't look back at photos and videos and stuff like that. Like, for me, we might have looked at our wedding pictures maybe 5 times since we've been married, excuse me. And all 5 of those times was during the first year. Yeah. You know, since then, we ain't even looked at it.
Life rolls on. You take more pictures. You know, it's a great memory.
Facts.
You know,
I would, before we start the podcast, I was supposed to come in hot and start talking about how Charlotte just had an award show.
Oh my God.
That was up there in Salisbury. But
another one.
Look, but I always promise not to talk about them.
Look, it's another Charlotte thing that's not in Charlotte. What more can I say? Excuse my phone. But
I ain't know what the hell that was.
I'm about over that vibe of it. You know what I mean? But we'll get back to the award show. Yeah.
No, I mean, that's a great point. We keep having these things that's based on a city that's not in a city. And it's interesting. And
not Charlotte.
I'm also laughing because I'm seeing a lot of award shows doing it's time for y'all to pitch in so that you can win your awards.
Paying for awards, what you're saying?
Basically, like, I've been seeing a lot of that. Like, hey, this award show is coming. We would love for you guys to pitch in, help out, and, you know, wink, wink, you're going to win. So I found that interesting.
Hey, if you got to pay to play, you might as well pay to win. Is that how?
Bruh, should be hilarious, bro. I want to welcome everybody to the Paid and Exposure podcast.
Yeah.
This is your host, Gavin, aka Cole, with, might as well be my co-host now, because if I ain't got a guest, then Laws is here. I'll be like, yo.
I'm still a guest, baby. A frequent one, that's all.
Absolutely, man. And I'm so glad you're here. I promise you guys I was going to get better at letting you know when we won't have a podcast episode. And I got to get better at that.
Oh, they're looking forward to it that much, man?
Yeah, like,
that's
because
what's up. I like that. Okay.
Look, I've just been busy,
y'all. Warned we don't even have one coming. Okay, I like that.
I'm going to start. I'm going to do better. I do, however, want to get into this motion of I want to start doing community spotlights.
I like that.
People, and I'm going to look at Charlotte, but I'm also going to look outside of Charlotte. So if you are a photographer, a videographer, an artist of some sort, and you would love to just sit down and talk, if you looking for somebody to stroke your ego, kiss your ass, wrong podcast.
You probably can't get that done.
Yeah, no, it ain't no problem. You can't get that done.
Well, they might do it themselves. From what you was just telling me, old man, he got a whole basically e-course on how to kiss your own ass and how to. Hey, I mean.
If you are not located in Charlotte, please send me the top entrepreneur scammers in your city. I want to follow them. I find it amazing. But I want to sit down and talk with some artists. Just let's just talk. Let's talk about what you do, what you don't do, what you like, what you do like, and let's go deep with that. And this would be a great time. If you are a Charlotte elite scammer, please let me know. You know what I'm saying? I would love to have you come on and talk to you.
Yeah, man. Sounds good to me. And that means, listen, that includes Mint Hill, Huntersville, Matthews, Belmont, Gastonia.
Everywhere where y'all having podcasts. I mean.
If you have a 704 number, you're Charlotte from now on, from what I understand. That's just how it goes.
Or 980.
Right? Or 980, right. Because that's how all the people, from the top are treating it. So we're not even saying Charlotte and surrounding areas anymore. It's just Charlotte.
Yeah. But let me know. I would definitely want to sit that on there. And then also outside of that, we're going to start calling people. Look, I'm going to start calling you people, whether you in Atlanta, whether you in Columbia, whether you in LA.
DC, what's up?
Absolutely. We calling you on the phone, interviewing you, talking to you. So we're going to do that. All right. So let's get this party started. I don't know what episode this is because I ain't did one of these shits in so long. But I do want to welcome you. If this is your first time listening, welcome. If it's your last time listening, I'm sorry.
Hey, don't do us like that.
We do sponsors, whatever. Y'all know how this go. There's this unique thing of me and you was talking yesterday, and I was telling you something where I felt like you're good at doing in photography. And, it's funny because you just talked about homeboy at the wedding.
Yeah.
And you said, he was super efficient, and that's amazing. Sometimes when you go around certain creative people and you see them work, bruh, sometimes you're not even focused on, I wonder what those pictures turned out like. But you be so
definitely wonder. But no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but like some people, like, you get so just shocked. I'm laughing at you. Sometimes you just get shocked at yo, look how they work. When they are working, you just get shocked at, yo, this is what they great at.
Right.
And it's beautiful to watch, right? For instance, I told you about a time I was working, I'll give you an example. I'm working with Designs by JK. He's located here in Charlotte.
Shout out to JK again.
Talk about him a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed just like how quick he works.
Yes.
And he gets the shot. But he does it quickly and it's consistent, right? But I was telling you, you know, I see him work in two instances, and we're working in each wedding. There's somebody disabled in the wedding. That's your phone?
Again.
So me and JK, we work at two weddings, and it's a disabled person in each wedding, right?
Okay.
And I watched him make not that person comfortable, because those two people were comfortable.
Right.
He made their families super comfortable while he worked with them.
Major important, because we can't act like that family isn't thinking about that component.
Absolutely.
While you're getting them set up. So that's amazing.
There's a statistic, I think is 1 in 4 people that you encounter are disabled. And so sometimes when you make comments online, you have to think that everybody that sees it, 1 out of those 4 people might be disabled that sees it. We have to start looking at our clients, and I think it's 1 in 4. Please don't kill me if I'm wrong, but it's not. It's such a common number that you might not understand it.
Oh yeah.
That your clients might be disabled. Their family members that's there might be disabled. You know, whatever. You might be shooting someone and they might be disabled. But I watched him, you know, work with these individuals and make the room comfortable, where they don't have to be like, yo, let's make sure he's comfortable working with her. But he wasn't even making that person comfortable. It was almost like, yo, that gift was just like, yo, I'm going to make the room comfortable. And I saw that and I said, yo, and it wasn't those times. I've seen him work with elderly individuals who may not necessarily be disabled and do that. I've seen him work with kids, and it's like, yo, let me calm the room down and let me get a hold of that room. And I was like, yo, this dude got a superpower with that, right? Like, it's just amazing watching him work. And so I kind of wanted to have this thing of, what is your superpower in photography or videography? Because for those who don't know, Laws is a shooter. He takes pictures and he videos, right? He does video work, which is amazing. It's a gift. And
I appreciate it.
And while you think about that, like, I look at me and I say, yo, I connect with my clients in a way that they don't realize. Like, I become friendly with them.
Yes.
And that's my way of making people comfortable, as far as like, hey, I talk to you like we've been knowing each other forever, no matter who you are. It's clients who I've literally only met through the internet. It's you know, I don't suggest this, but it's happened.
Right.
Yo, I have clients that, yo, I met you through the internet. I sent you a deposit thing. You know, you paid it. We shoot. And when you get there, it's my first time ever knowing you. Never heard your voice. Don't even know really what you look like. Cool, whatever. And we have a beautiful thing. I have had sessions that I sell online, and people show up and I don't know who they are, who they're here for. And but everybody I treat the same and say, yo, I'm going to make you comfortable enough to break that ice and make it seem like I've been knowing you for years. And I do believe that's something, it's a gift. What you think your gift is?
Oh man, that's tough. First, excuse me, I think pointing out that superpower that JK has of making all people in the room comfortable, regardless of whether they're disabled, challenged, or anything like that, right? I think that's an amazing thing, and no, everyone does not have it. I don't think everyone is capable of being mindful of it, to even be able to address it, to know, to say, hey, this is the role that I'm taking on. Something that I just wanted to speak to in that, I think it's just identifying when someone is different at all, right? We have people who are height challenged. They're not necessarily disabled, but they're height challenged. I know something that you've talked about before with shooting people of different complexions, right? That photographer has to know how the lighting and how to, you know, adjust those settings, X, Y, Z. I think as photographers, and this is going to segue into what you just asked me, I think as photographers, there's a skill set that goes overlooked so much, which is making accommodation, making room, making space for other people to literally, and I do mean because, for people to literally just be themselves. And what you said, I smiled and snickered at it because it's essentially that. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to make you feel comfortable. And when I am out here in a variety of conversations, whether I have a camera or I don't, people are not, they're not just accustomed to having people genuinely talk to them.
Facts.
To either get to know them, to either prioritize their interests, their thoughts, their feelings, any of those things, so that when we do it, sometimes we get wrapped up into it too because they don't want to stop, right?
Yeah, we gotta go.
But right, exactly. But in general, they draw to it so much because it's not a common thing for them. So it's sometimes for myself, I don't even see that as a gift, and as much as I just see it as who I am and what I do. Mm-hmm. But I think much of that is parts of the gift. We have an eye. That's a separate gift. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We have thoughtfulness and mindfulness, which is what attributes to our eye as well, and frames, right?
Yeah.
But then the personality to be able to maneuver all of these different circles and networks of people, those are of the more prominent gifts, man, that I never have. I won't say I've never had, but I don't identify it just as a gift. I just see it as like part of the person that I am, and you know, your vibe attracts your tribe. Hence the reason why we rock with each other. You know what I mean? These are things that are common amongst us. I do think that my gift that still falls under those, you know, characteristics and attributes and features that I mentioned is just being able to take pressure out of their space. I think a lot of people come uptight, shoulders, you know, tense. And if you know me, that's me when I'm dealing with business and you know, around the clock, honestly. So I know what that looks like. I know what that feels like. Mm-hmm. But when we're in a space for celebration, for, you know, relaxing, or if you're here for a photo shoot, moments that I just don't find that need to be tense, I have a decent way of just saying, hey, like, if we can just be ourselves, you know, be goofy, be whatever is corny, and it's not any of those words. Facts. You know what I'm saying? That's what people may ascribe to. Yeah. But it's just being your natural self with no apology, you know? Facts. No conditionality in terms that I have to operate like that. No, I'm my best when I can just be that. And so I think what the greatest gift that we offer to other people is an opportunity of authenticity. You know what I mean? Okay, and I think that can be overlooked often because if we don't identify it and acknowledge it, people are just like we said, they just want to keep talking. They just want to be around it more, you know, all those things. I personally just find it, we come to work in this space every day. Every day. I don't think we woke up and said, hey, we're going to try today. No, it's like, okay, well, this is how I'm feeling. This is my expression of that, for real. Facts. So
yeah, you know, taking pressure out of situations is an amazing way of framing that because nothing bothers me more, even though it doesn't affect me as much now because I've done it long enough. Nothing bothers me more. You show up to somebody's wedding and the bride and groom are stressed the hell out. It makes your job. Your job hella difficult. Yeah. If any, at minimum, it makes your job a little bit more difficult because when they're stressed out, for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. Did this wedding. Shout out to this bride and groom. I don't even want to shout them out because I don't know if they want people to know. They mad cool, right? That's real. She's mad cool. Bobby was at this wedding with me. Bobby Kern, shout out to him. And
shout out to Bobby.
Me and him probably didn't know because the bride had actually worked. She's a caterer. Okay. Shout out to Chef Tara. This is not a bad story now I'm thinking about it. But she's a caterer. Hey. So she's done hella weddings, right? Yeah, yeah. And I remember we sitting there and Chef Tara, she was like, my cake ain't here. She was pissed, right? And it was one of those things where she was getting a little tense, but then she looked and she said, I ain't gonna let this mess up my day.
I love it.
Because I've been in that situation with other brides who had never worked a wedding, you know what I'm saying, never been to a wedding. Yeah. And their wedding is the first wedding they've ever been to or been in. And they are stressed out because, hey, the flowers ain't here. Hey, the cake ain't here. Newsflash to any photographer. that is doing weddings, that has never done a wedding, that wants to do weddings, please understand this. Something is going to go wrong on the wedding
Absolutely.
day for the bride and groom.
Absolutely.
They don't know that yet. I tell all of my bride and grooms during that consultation, I tell all my brides one thing. Hey, your goal that day is to get down the aisle.
Yes.
Because something is going to go wrong. And you ain't going to be able to fix it. It's up to you to decide if it's going to ruin the rest of your day.
Yes.
Just get down the aisle. My wedding day, personally, my wife will tell you, we supposed to start on time, and guess what? They realized all the flowers was 20 minutes away from the venue, and we in Rock Hill on the busiest exit in Rock Hill, and it's nothing but standalone traffic. Our wedding started late, and it was one of the things my wife was like, nope, somebody got to go get those flowers, and everything worked out fine.
Nice.
But, something goes wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it's cool. Just get down the damn aisle.
Yeah.
And then also, this goes to customer service. Customer service has left this world. So I believe COVID really messed up customer service.
It is ridiculous, man. It's not even a thing anymore.
Yo, you go to, I sound like the old head, but you go to the damn grocery store and the kid ringing you up got AirPods in, right? You go to, I forgot where I was going. I was going to get something to eat, man. These motherfuckers had, excuse my language, they had a speaker in the back blasting music. Man. Bruh, I went to 7-Eleven, bruh. The dude's ringing me up, had an Amazon uniform on. And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
What's so crazy is I appreciate the fact that you can go through these instances to speak of like times where customer service wasn't there because it's happened so much.
Yeah.
I've blocked it out.
Yeah, you don't even
it's like law of the land. It's just like, hey, you know what? Total deniability. It's not even your fault, right? It's on me that you forgot my whole order. Yeah, that's on me, buddy. Sorry. Like it happens every day.
Every day. And so like now, don't think that that's not happening in entrepreneurship. Don't think it ain't happening with photographers. Like some of y'all really be clowning y'all clients on social media and thinking it's cool. That's weird to me. You know what I'm saying?
In expectation that they will work with you again.
Absolutely.
I don't see it.
A lot of people get online and they dog their clients out, and I don't get it, yo. Like and my wife made it. Me and her was having a little back and forth laughing because I used to, when I first got started, I used to talk about situations. In the, my rule always was if I put it online, I got to be comfortable with this person and everybody else that will do this or think this is okay, never working with me again. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then some of the stuff I just had to stop talking about. Speaking of,
I'm getting to that too. Yeah.
Follow me, and then I will get you where we're going to. Right. Speaking about what you can't speak about in business. Mm-hmm. Over the last week, in the last 24 hours, everybody that has anything to do with Kanye West has seemingly dropped him, right?
My goodness.
And we get to this point of, he made comments that were deemed anti-Semitic. And I'm saying deemed because it's in the eye of the beholder if you deem that, right? But people in power have deemed it that and have went there. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. What I want to talk about is this idea of when do you as a business owner feel like, yo, I can't talk about this for the betterment of my business? Or is your business and you so separate that you feel like people understand it or whatnot? Because it's tough, right? Because
it's very tough.
If you say something homophobic, you got to understand that your business can take a hit. If you say anything racist, you got to understand your business is going to take a hit. If you say anything misogynistic, you might understand your business may take a hit.
Yes.
But, and sometimes you could speak out about white lives matter or all lives matter, right? Uh-huh. And someone might disagree with you and say, yo, you being racist.
Yep.
Whether they're right or wrong, that's not the point. The point is that your business can take a hit from that.
Absolutely.
It's certain people out there that's clients that don't mess with people who got Black Lives Matter in their bio.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Or, they have certain colors in their bio. If you got green, red, and black in your bio with hearts, you know what I'm saying? Somebody might look at that and be like, nope, too black for me. I'm out.
Too black. That's right.
We didn't all been to, my favorite part is when you reading a job description on Indeed and you could just tell like, yo, that's a racist ass corporation. Like,
Yeah.
there should be a whole thing of like, what did you read in the interview, or what did they say in the interview, or what did the job description say to you to let you know that, hey, this job is racist.
Yeah.
For me, it's always, we're looking for somebody that fits our culture. I automatically know that you don't.
That's beautiful.
That's the most amazing, we don't want blacks up in here.
Yes.
Line on the job description. Yes. But how do you feel about staying away from certain topics, or do you care? Do you not care? Or how you navigate that?
Excuse me. So that's a really loaded, perplexed topic.
It is. I have to change the camera, so I had to compound several thoughts.
Yeah, I get it now, because I'm like, bro, I know you didn't just leave it. Like, that's a crazy cliffhanger. Gavin knows I can get very long-winded on this subject matter, because it's so dynamic. It intertwines. It can be. Oh man, I'm trying to generate an expression that is not so philosophical and can be very immediate and direct to the ears and to the mind, so that you don't have to take this long journey to figure out what it is that I'm actually saying, right?
Okay.
So I speak that way often. My thing is, for one, I think it has very much to do with cultural and geographical relativity. Keep me on my points. Cultural and geographical relativity. Number 2, time and place. And 3, do you really give a fuck about the status quo? Yeah. So I feel like, and for sure, there's so much more that goes with that. Again, this is not a one-tiered conversation. This is a multifaceted conversation that intertwines and interconnects from the inception of America. Okay.
Facts.
So first you have to ask the person that's listening, do you believe in capitalism? Are you aware of what capitalism is? What are your beliefs on capitalism? That's first things first. And so I'm speaking of that economically, not even within the government, idea of things like fascism or whatever. Because I do believe everyone deserves a voice. We all have an opinion. We all have a contribution to make to the society. We just talked about the disabled. We talked about those who are different and may be challenged in ways that some of us are not. So we've all had to figure out how to work amicably and cohesively, right? Okay,
Facts.
cool. So then I will always start off with questions to challenge the mind before I make an assertion that will be an authoritative opinion from my stance. And so that's my first question. Second, are we talking about this from the vantage point of being in Charlotte? Or are we talking about this from a vantage point of being in DC? And I'll say it that way casually and crassly, simply because in DC I get the greatest reaffirmation that you are black and your blackness matters, to where you don't have to be apologetic about it in any kind of way. Whereas in Charlotte, we don't speak with the same language, right? We've talked about paying to play. We talked about, knowing what to talk about, when to talk about it. Hence the reason that we have the bullet point of time and space, where there's always a time and place to say certain things. There's an opportunity to be clear. And there's times where you usually have to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Just because your business literally can and will suffer. So it depends on your level of unapologetic blackness, the RBG, red, black, and green flag, you know what I mean? You saying Black Lives Matter, XYZ. Keeping in mind that I do not have a conventional take on Black Lives Matter. All lives matter, sure, for sure. Primarily from my vantage point and experience, Black Lives Matter, absolutely. Black Lives Matter as an organization that is funded and generated, and created by George Soros.
Gunshots.
Yeah, bro.
It's not on the soundboard. Somebody deleted it.
You know me. I got it for you. You know what I'm saying?
Them bitches bought a house. Several
houses. And what annoys me is that we're challenging the rhetoric of a powerful entity as opposed to challenging the behavior of the reality of these quote unquote victims.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at victimhood from real happening, right? Like, yo, you didn't ask for your son to die. I'm not mad at that.
Facts.
However, did you really buy the house? Was it really funded by George Soros? How is it continually funding? What betterment has been served for the greater majority of black people because Black Lives Matter exists as an organization?
Yeah.
Keeping in mind, we still have questions to get to the NAACP.
Yeah, but let's stay on task.
Cool. So, with all of those things being said, acknowledge XYZ. Number one, depending upon where you are, yes, those things matter. Where I am, I cannot just, Gavin and I cannot just go out, create some signs and say Black Lives Matter and expect to get business from white corporations, white partners, white affiliates in any capacity, unless they are allies or the token whiteness for their group, right? Or their subgroup, if you will, who will then say, and that's a very skewed number of people, right? Who will then say, hey, these people deserve a chance, right?
Fair.
So that's just where we are. Now, in DC, I don't think I'm going to be having the same statement and sentiment. I will be with the crowd who's so pro-black that blackness just reigns. I love that shit, by the way. It's like Wakanda for real, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keeping in mind, I'm still of the same group of people who The Woman King was produced by black people, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, and it consisted of black actors and actresses, and yet that didn't get as much conversation as the highly anticipated sequel to The Black Panther. Now, I'm not here to judge one way or the other. I'm just simply pointing out the facts that all blackness ain't blackness and appreciation for blackness unless we're having these equal conversations, because in all honesty, one is based off of historical fact that set the tone for today's world, and the other is based off of fantasy. And I'm not going to say which one is which, but again, The Woman King doesn't get nearly as much rah-rah praise and conversation and, hey, what was it talking about, as the Black Panther will. And I'm trying to tell you, we're going to show up in the movie theater how we going to still show up.
Y'all supposed to be wearing all white.
Exactly. You feel me? So it's like, it's clearly a big deal. I'm not mad at that one way or the other, but I just cannot. It's very difficult for me to address blackness in full when blackness itself doesn't seem to perpetuate the idea of this is our standard no matter what the publication, no matter what the medium, no matter what the platform, no matter what the opportunity, no matter what the instance. It's always like this within the black community, okay? Mm-hmm. So when it comes to this Kanye thing, right? Mm-hmm. I see so much pseudo, and unfortunately, I see far more crab in the barrel mentality than I see, hey, we may not agree with him, but for what he's accomplished and for what we did agree with for so long, by the way, at any given point that he put out, let's give grace first, as opposed to let's give what we always do give, which is if you're not doing what we want you to do, shoot his ass down.
Yeah, well, me and you been talking about grace today.
Yeah, for sure.
In general.
For sure.
And for a subset of people who are so apologetic, and I'm talking about black people.
Yes, so apologetic, yes.
We will say sorry and accept. We will say sorry and we will accept your sorry.
Yeah.
So quickly until it's time to do it for ourselves or our own.
Ooh.
And
whoa,
it's it's a tough thing. I look at certain things with my business I stay away from.
Yeah.
Not because of my business. Sometimes I'm just not educated.
Yeah.
We gotta get to that. I'm not even gonna say we're gonna get back to it because I don't know if we was ever there, bro.
Yeah.
We gotta get to I don't know. Let me check back with you, Law. I don't know.
We do.
We gotta get to. Oh, I don't know nothing about that. Or I need more, a little bit more. Let me think. Or we gotta get to. Are you really? Is that how you feel? Or are we having an open conversation, communication to learn or to? Told. Now, I'm not necessarily speaking directly for Ye or about Ye, but I'm speaking about our people just in general, right?
As a whole, yeah.
So it's certain things that I just don't speak on.
Right.
I also believe that there are certain topics where I understand that when I speak on it, you better be right.
Yeah.
Because if you're wrong, you got to live with that.
That's
wrong.
A lot to walk down.
It is a lot to walk down. I never forget when it's certain corporations. Let me put it like this. It always bothers me, or I find it eye-opening when corporations do speak on topics because it's certain topics they can't speak on or they choose not to. I'm going to give you an example. Working at Marriott, they will tell you, if you call Marriott right now and say, hey, I work for a nonprofit organization, they will tell you they cannot donate. Why? Because the minute that you say, I got $1 from them, another nonprofit can call them and say, hey, why can't you guys give me $1 at least?
Yeah.
So, domestic violence organization cannot call Marriott and say, hey, we would like you to donate one room per year to a family that's going through domestic violence because breast cancer can now call them and say, hey, we need a room, or we need $10, or we need $100, right? However, so I get that.
Yeah.
And I understand that. It's easy for me as a citizen or just somebody that's just a client or customer of theirs to understand that. What I could not understand, though, is why Marriott had no problem supporting the LGBTQ plus community, but then when black people was getting murdered in the street, they didn't raise no flags. They didn't say we stand for that. That bothered me.
I feel that.
That bothered me working there.
I feel that.
I was on conference calls saying, hey, what are we going to do when this happened? And I heard the silence. And I heard next subject. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Now, I'm not saying that, they're wrong. Certain cities, I got why they was doing it. You're never going to get me to be confused on why New York, California, and Georgia. I'm really speaking about Atlanta because, Georgia's bigger than Atlanta. Outside of Atlanta, Georgia's racist and homophobic, just to give y'all a heads up. But you're never going to, let's just get it like this. New York City, San Francisco, and Atlanta, Georgia, you're never going to get me confused on where they stand with the LGBTQ plus community. Yeah. And I get it. I'm not confused. Also, I'm not going to be, but you other cities, when I see you fly hard and go hard for that, but then it's time for black people to stand there, and it kind of goes to black people like, where we at with it? Where y'all at with, when are we going to make our super PAC and say, this is what we demand? You know what I'm saying?
That's a great question.
I just paid attention to those things.
That's a
you know what I'm saying? And I look at it as like, going back to the main question is like, I'm looking at it as going like, bro, like, I wonder how many people looking at my brand and going, why he ain't speaking on this? Because the lines get blurred, right?
Sure. Sure. If you allow them to, they do.
Absolutely. Joshua Laws might not agree with X, Y, and Z. Yep. But his brand might photograph that, right?
Boom.
You can separate it.
I don't think it's fair asking that question from our vantage point because the lens can be so broad.
Absolutely.
I think that the crazy part is that now in today's time, the goal is to show, not to actually be, I don't think, but to show authenticity. Ralph Lauren Polo, right? They just had a campaign with HBCUs. I think it was Morehouse. Howard.
I didn't know that. I know Nike did their part.
Even better. So yeah, Nike did their part for sure.
Yeah.
And they still are exploiting this homecoming rah, you know what I mean? And that's cool. I'm not mad at that, by the way. We have black creatives.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were black business people who brought this idea to the forefront. So
black women got to design the shoe.
Boom, there we go. We're driving greater senses of culture, more awareness, and the idea of presenting unapologetic whatever. Blackness, unapologetic LGBTQ, unapologetic. Okay, so I'm not here for the wordplay, and as much as I love wordplay, nor the rhetoric. It's just literally greater entities are making a point to show they're more involved with the conversation on a human level, on a person-to-person level, on a I see you, I hear you type of vibe. To the point where, depending upon your lane, depending upon what your business is, like that was a perfect example you just gave. I, as my person, what I capture will not always be in agreement with actually who I am, which I personally take pride in because it means you have to get to know me from beyond just being the guy behind the camera, which is something I always talk about. Like, I do more than just hold a camera. I serve more than just, clicking that button or even like recording video. But when it does come to topics, some things I just choose not to speak on, not for my business sake. It's really for my peace sake. My peace of mind comes from me being confident and being able to have deductive reasoning, analyze and assess a situation and get to the bottom of it without making anyone else feel any type of way about it.
Facts.
It's for me anyway. If I so choose to share my opinion, it's often because I'm asked for it.
Yeah.
Or I feel so compelled that, I have to at least get this out to somebody or someone needs to hear this. It's appreciation for this platform for sure. But it's platforms like these where I feel like, okay, let me delegate even better, but still be expressive, still tell you exactly what it is that I'm thinking and feeling without tarnishing my brand, my image, all those things, right? NIL is a real thing, and so I cater to that as well.
Yeah.
And so I'm aware how companies do this while still trying to maintain some level of authenticity. From my vantage point, you don't get authenticity without being real.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And that may sound weird to people who don't understand what's being said, so let me break it down just a little bit. Authenticity, okay, you have your version of you that you think you are, and then there's just this version that's raw and uncut behind behind closed doors. No problem. I'm the raw and uncut behind closed doors far more than I am the guy who's perpetuating this image and this idea of who I think I am. Mm-hmm. I know that the two converge, they converge and they meet at some point. My goal is to live every parts of my life behind closed doors as if, when I'm in the open or not. And what that looks like is being far more conservative and far more reserved because I'm not going out trying to get my opinion out there to other people. However, if someone asks me, no matter where I am, I don't give a fuck to shy away from what you're asking me. I feel free to be able to communicate it in fullness. And so, like I said, on platforms like these, I feel comfortable to do that. My Instagram story looks far different from my Instagram actual page and feed.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so where people have always told me, you need to separate your professional page from your personal page.
I hate that.
I get it, but it's me. My business is a derivative of me. I'm a derivative of my business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hate the management of separating. I got a business page, I got a personal page, and then one goes in. It's
all social media.
It is. It's like, man, fuck all that. All right. We beat that horse.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you who didn't beat.
Y'all better leave comments on that junk too, so we can talk to y'all about it. Let's go.
Absolutely. Funny enough, some of y'all take y'all job too serious.
Too serious.
As creatives, we have a job. Stick to the job.
Man.
For those who not know, there was a photographer at Penn State. Somebody decided to go streaking on the field, and the photographer ran out to the field, tackled this man, almost got his ass beat, but it was able to re-tackle the guy, and security came, and he ran off like, he's a hero.
He's a hero.
Bro.
Did he drop his equipment? Did he ask his man, hey, hold my camera?
Yeah, that's
like, how did we get there?
Bruh, I've never, and I don't know if this is just me. I'm never willing to go beyond the scope of what I'm there to do.
No.
I go above and beyond within my scope.
Yep.
But playing security, look at here. If that photographer goes out there and that streaker beat his ass, he get his ass beat.
That's it.
And it's on you. I remember I worked at Target, right? I had all the crazy ass jobs. I was working at Target, and one of the security guard, dude thought he was he thought he was Paul Blart, right? Before Paul Blart. And
Paul Blart.
And this dude ran outside. He stole something from Target and he jetted outside. So Target has a rule. I don't know if it's still a rule, so don't go stealing. But Target used to have a rule when I worked there was if a customer steals and they make it outside the door, they are no longer our responsibility, and we have no responsibility to what happens to you. So that means if somebody's stealing, a $10 item and you chase their ass in the parking lot and they turn around and shoot your ass, Target ain't responsible. They are now responsibility of Huntersville PD, CMPD, wherever you at PD, right?
Let it be what it is.
And I remember we had this one motherfucker. This dude thought he was, the Terminator. And he chased this dude outside and he got written up. And he got the item back. And I remember they
gave him a promotion because he got the item.
No, they wrote his ass up because he got the item back. And I just remember, the sad part is I remember bruh's face once he got that write-up. And he was nothing, like Drake said, nothing was the same. Bruh ended up quitting later because he was hurt because I went beyond the scope of my job, right?
Yep.
And they told him, they said, if he would have turned around and killed you, your parents would have had to come in here to say, they would have to read where you signed the paperwork and say, hey, this person is not we're not responsible, and it's on you.
That's crazy.
And we would have had to be honest with your family, explain that, yo, you knew that.
Yeah.
But you decided to be fucking the hero and go outside and get your ass beat. And so I look at this photographer, I'm like, bruh, sit down. Because some of you photographers be doing the most.
Oh, that was crazy, man.
Like, y'all doing the most.
Got his whole vest on and everything.
Bruh, that part.
So he didn't have any lenses or anything in those pockets? Because
Exactly.
those are some big pockets, you know?
Bruh, I'm weak at that part. Musical artist Steve Lacy smashes a fan's camera after the photographer, the fan who might have been a photographer, threw it at him. Who do you side with? So, for those not know, this person
who throws a camera?
Exactly. That's my part. He throws a camera onto the stage. Steve Lacy stops, says, yo, don't throw shit at me. He goes to the person, like, yo, let me see that. The person hands the camera back over. He smashes the camera and ends the concert. Did Steve Lacy overreact?
Was the camera thrown at him or thrown onto the stage? There's a difference.
From all accounts, it was thrown at him.
Then no, he didn't overreact. This is as a person who holds a camera. Those cameras are super expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out who is throwing a camera in what capacity, in what instance, where's the thought process, all those things. But as an artist, if I'm in the middle of my joint and I know I'm focused, got this going on, whatever, and you throw off my vibe on some, like, I just can't rationalize and explain it. Yeah, I'm probably likely to get hot-headed and do some crazy things like that too. Like, I don't know. I can only imagine the instance being like, yo, I'm in the middle of a photo shoot and someone just comes around and throws their fucking guitar at me. Hell yeah, I'm smashing the damn guitar.
People was online mad that he ended the concert. And for somebody who, I live with somebody, I'm married to somebody who works in the entertainment field.
Right.
I'm gonna tell y'all this, and maybe y'all could share this with your friends and stuff when y'all go to concerts.
You give me some insight, because I'm having a hard time with this one. That's tough.
When the artist is on stage, they have been paid.
Oh, yeah, they got the bag already.
They are looking for a way to go home early.
Absolutely. Give me the slightest little bit.
Look, they have to obligate a certain, they have an obligation to the promoter who's hosting whatever, who hired them to be there.
Yeah.
Soon as they get on stage, it's certain things that they can deem as, hey, I can no longer perform. I'm out.
Yep.
One being threats to their life.
Yep.
One being in unsafe conditions. So when you throwing shit, I don't care if it's food. I don't care if it's a battery.
Nope.
I don't care if it's a camera.
If it was thrown.
I don't care if it's thrown. My life, I feel at danger. This is an unsafe work environment.
That's
I'm
crazy.
out. And look, they got their money already.
Yeah.
So let me tell you something. If somebody say, hey, Gavin, you get paid whether you work here 10 minutes or 10 hours. You're only obligated to do an hour. But at the same time, there are certain things that can happen that if you only work 1 minute or 10 hours, you're going to get paid the same amount, right? Bro, I am done.
I'm working towards that 10 minutes much faster than that 10 hours.
The moment y'all throw anything, bro, I'm going home.
Oh, look, there's bubbles. I'm up out of here.
Up out of here,
Look at the gases.
Look, that shit is crazy. All right, this is a segment of our podcast. Before we get out of here, we got a couple of questions that we're gonna answer.
Yeah.
I want Laws. I'm gonna throw it to you.
All right.
Joyce, shout out to Joyce. She says,
Hi,
do you
Joyce.
offer any discounts, like senior or military discounts?
Yeah, I do. I offer personal discounts, and what that is, if I feel like giving you a discount, then that's what I offer you. Outside of that, hey, bro, I know some people in the military who just don't deserve their military discount. I don't see them. I don't see Wendy's or the movie theater knocking them off. It's just, I'm a veteran. You know what I'm saying? Last time I checked on job applications, veterans line up. You'll get the job faster than a civilian.
Allegedly,
what
yes.
do you need to benefit from working with me? Getting a discount for just being a veteran. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all people who have served in the military.
Shout out.
I highly respect you.
Because it couldn't have been me.
I thought about it, doing it myself. And
I did not.
Each conclusion led to what he just said.
Hell nah.
As a senior, I anticipate getting there myself. You know what I'm saying? If you a senior in college or in high school, talk to your parents. They can pay the rates to get your graduation shot.
Mm-hmm.
But senior citizens, Con- considering they can be some of the most difficult people to work with.
Facts.
It is hard to offer a discount based upon seniority of life. Considering I hope to achieve senior citizen status in my life. I don't expect others to then say, oh, because you've reached this age of graciousness, here's your discount. No, if I know you personally, if I have a great rapport with you, if I know, certain things deem discounts. Those two, though, nah.
Yeah. I'm
not exactly.
I don't offer discounts. If you combine sessions, I will.
Hey, combine sessions, double them up.
Yeah, we could work on that. But actually, like military, nah, sis. And as a photographer, like the person who asked this is actually a photographer. Let it go.
Aren't those people who would generally have it to pay it? By the way, not trying to be funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
like,
just asking.
All the scenes
I'm not coming for them, but come on.
All the scenes I've taken pictures of, they're not paying for it. They just shame their kids into getting it. And then all the people in the military, man, y'all got a better car than I do. Y'all got them charges.
I'm sorry, but like it's just
some challenges.
Truth, man.
Y'all got them shits. Justin, question: what would you say is your biggest pain point as a photographer?
Oh God. That's difficult, but also kind of easy. I think it goes to something that you've always talked about. I've never considered to be a pain point until recently, but it's a striving for perfection. You know what I mean? You're not perfect. The shot that you just took, it can be great, and it can be your best photo. There's no such thing as perfection, so stop being so hard on yourself. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I think that's the biggest pain point outside of like any learning curve that you're going to, go into to acquire more skills and more knowledge or whatever. That's always going to be difficult. But anything beyond that is, just process and system.
I guess for me, my biggest pain point right now is creativity.
Yeah, you talk about that often. Yep.
Getting more creative, having the time.
Mm-hmm.
That part. Finding, scrap all that. Finding time right now is my biggest pain point as a business owner. We talk about that every day.
Yeah.
For me, like I value my time all the way down to my boy was laughing at me because I don't know how to change the oil of my car. And the joke is I told him for what they charge me at the car place, right?
Take 5 or wherever you go to get your oil change.
Let's say the oil change costs $50.
Yeah.
Let's say I have to be there an hour. Let's say if I do it at home, it takes 45 minutes. So at least, let's say to go purchase the oil, to get all the materials, to get there, to change my own oil. Let's say it takes 30 minutes at that. But to go out and make all that shit happen, it takes 45 minutes. Cool, bet. Let's say 50 minutes to 45 minutes. Well, matter of fact, if you the first one in and out getting your oil change, let's say it takes 45 minutes either way.
Yeah.
One costs you 50, one costs you the materials, which may be $30.
Yep. Give or take.
Getting good oil, getting the filter,
and
then you doing it yourself. Look here, y'all.
Opportunity cost.
My time, my 45 minutes is more valuable. If I drop my car off, I Uber to go do a shoot. I make more than if I choose to do my own oil.
And that's spending money on that Uber too.
Yeah. I make more. I found a unique way in my life to understand how time literally works for me.
Yeah.
I get up every morning at 6 something, and I need to get up earlier, but Lord knows I don't really want to do it. I keep saying it, right? But I don't. Really
you and me both. Yeah.
But that my day's in early.
Right.
You be here with me.
And I mean, we got to be the business component to your day.
Yeah.
Ends early.
I still get the most sleep I can get at any night is 8 hours, 8.5 hours, right? Because of winding down, getting into bed, showering, whatever, waking up to get the day started. And I'm still trying to find more time. I'm trying to take that from 6:30 or let's say 7 o'clock to 10:30 when I go to bed. I'm looking at, how do I take those 15 hours and maximize them?
Right.
I'm literally looking
Right.
for that every day.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, finding more time and maximizing that time, you know, you're talking to a dude that's a dad, a
Yep.
photographer,
Yep.
a studio owner. I have 2 podcasts,
The husband.
a husband. You know what I'm saying? Me and my wife. Yo, shout out to my wife who got
Yes,
an
sir.
NBA league pass for
Shout
my
out to
wedding
Raina.
anniversary, and it was $100. And I've always had the money. I've never bought myself league pass just
Yeah.
because I'm like, yo, as a photographer, I could spend that money on something else.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, nah, not this year. I got it. Right.
That's
right.
real.
And I appreciate it and I loved it.
That's real.
But yeah, like that's my biggest thing. Outside of that is creativity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always looking to be more and more consistent.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we put our highlights on social media, right?
Right.
We put our good work on social media.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting better at that. Yeah.
I'm trying to, the work y'all don't see, it ain't because it's so great and I'm sitting on it. Some of it's just not that great.
And he's just hard on himself too. Yeah.
Yeah,
As
but
we all are.
I want to be more consistent. I want to make sure these pictures looking great. I want to elevate it.
Right.
You know, so that was that. That's a great question.
That was a really good question for sure.
Yeah. Last thing, Savannah, it was in the group. Shout out to the No More Pie by Gavin B Facebook group.
Yeah.
Savannah wanted to know, what's your favorite place to get used lenses from?
I have not bought a used lens since I bought my first one from Biggs. It was Biggs camera, and I'm so thankful for that lens because it was actually priced 3 times higher than what I originally bought it for. I broke it. I accidentally cracked it. Not cracked the lens, but like I dropped the lens and some things malfunctioned.
Yeah.
I got the repairs, and still with the repairs, I ended up dropping it again, and so I did not go and get it repaired again. But after the first round of repairs, it still costed less than the actual retail price for the lens. So shout out to Biggs for that. I got it fixed at I sent it to Nikon.
Okay.
And then straight to Nikon. So
I need to send a lens to Canon because
if it's a branded lens, you already know it's best to go right back to the brand, like, you know, off market or third party, whatever lenses, you know, I can't speak to as much. I know that they wane. The quality of those lenses, you know, goes much faster than a Nikkor or a Canon lens.
Yeah.
That's fit for that exact, you know, branded body. So
absolutely. Before we get up out of here, what you got going on this weekend? And
oh shoot, this weekend's G-Ho, so you know I might fly to Greensboro for the weekend.
Okay.
For a day, you know I'm not going to do it the way I usually do. I'm a bit busier these days, and so Sunday I have a gig. Going into the weekend, I have a couple meetings that can be really, you know, dynamic and shake some things up. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, bro, G-Ho's this weekend, so shout out to the A&T Aggies, you know.
whatever y'all do. I don't know how to do it. Look, I was the dude in the club.
Baby, y'all know what time it is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm trying to learn it. They used to slap my hand down in the club. I used to be pissed.
He an affiliate, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I was there, you know what I'm saying? It is funny when people do see me and be like, yo, didn't you go to A&T? And I'm like, nah, I did not. But hey, man, I'm glad you saw me. I'm glad I made my mark.
Hey,
yeah, I got a couple mini sessions this weekend. I'm just chilling, man. The next 48 hours about to be intense. Yeah. Wife going out of town. She leaving me with the baby. And I always tell you.
Hold it down, though.
I get my son up for school every day.
Yep.
My wife
she got that touch.
She got that touch to put him to sleep. So it's about to be rough. And then, look, this is the funny part. She going to hit my ass with the, yo, have you, what do you think about not giving him milk overnight and just letting him cry it out? I think you should start. Now. She said, I think you should start it tonight.
No. We start that when you get back, girl. Stop, man.
I said, get the fuck out. I said,
we start that when you get back. What you talking about? He gonna be drinking milk through the night.
Look,
while you gone.
I'm like, hell nah. What are you talking about? Before we get out of here, as you know, we do the Black Dads Club. That's my other pod. If y'all ever want to listen it out, check it out.
Shout out to the Black Dads Club podcast, man.
I want to ask you, what's your favorite part about being a dad?
Dang, dude. After this past weekend, bro, can't even lie to you. The kids will sell it for you, bro. The kids will sell it for you. Like, I love, you know, I love my intimate moments with my kids that nobody else sees, you know, no one else records, because they're just, it's what makes our relationship, it's what makes our connection. But bro, when I tell you my son was going up to everybody, hugging them, just giving them the love. And that's anytime they say, "Oh, what do you?" I'm just like, "Hey, he's just giving you love." I had no clue where it was coming from. Kind of find out. My mom was there. My mom and brother were there at the wedding as well. So he loves his granny, and so he tells her, "Well, why is my dad hugging everybody?" Okay, well, I'm gonna go do the same thing too. And I'm like, "Oh, this is crazy." It's the fact that literally they will do exactly what they see you do, man. It's the power that they give you through their actions, thoughts, love, and words, man. For real. How about you?
Man, everything.
Man.
My
dare
favorite,
you pinpoint one thing?
Look, man. I didn't expect Lost to reverse this.
He never does though. That's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. But I guess my favorite part is just watching him think.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, he's smart, man.
My little boy, he's one, but the communication isn't fully there, right? Like, it's funny. He wants to talk so damn bad, bro.
Yeah.
He will point and it will be gibberish, and then he'll look at you like, "Did you not get what I'm saying?" Like, whatever. So I know he's ready to talk, but to see him figure stuff out, to realize, one of my favorite things is, and it's dangerous, don't shoot me. He has like a little seat that he sits in.
Yeah.
And one day he was trying to grab the door handle, but it's too tall. And he pushed his seat all the way over there. He turned the seat over. He stood up on it.
Too smart, man.
And then went up there. And it's to see him look at me like, what you gonna say? Like, you gonna, that part, man. But yeah, man, I just love it, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Like, it's just fun. And they're paying attention. We was laughing, and then kind of what you said, your son was watching you.
Yeah.
Right? We was giving him goldfish, and to see him shake them in his hand and do this.
Knowing you was over there.
And knowing that's what I do.
Yeah, not your mama. Not nobody else doing that. That's what that is.
And his mom is just laughing.
Yeah.
She's like, he gets that from you.
Uh-huh.
Like, he has no reason. He already has the goldfish in his hand. His hand's not even big enough to shake it. The goldfish is big enough, right? But he's trying to do that. He just knows to move his hands and throw it in his mouth and lean back. It's just fun, man.
Oh, man.
So being a dad is dope. Anyway, look, I want to thank y'all for listening, for tuning in.
Always.
Make sure you send this to a photographer.
For sure.
Make sure you go and donate on the podcast page.
And share with your friends. We talk about good content outside of just holding a camera. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I think that's something we have a special way, and I'm saying we, but really you have a special way of catering this to photographers who we give them far more credit than what, not saying we should, but everybody ain't us. Everyone doesn't have that ability to, and shout out to JK and shout out to a few others who do, but to diffuse tension inside of a room, to have organic, genuine, authentic conversation with people that want to bring more people around and want to engage. So this podcast, bro, it does that for people, and they go out and do that themselves, right? Those photographers who aren't naturally social that way.
Facts.
So we empower them to do that. Let's first say that. But then on top of that, bro, we talk about real topics outside of just holding a camera that gives more substance to their conversation. Go share this with a friend. Share this with your family. Share it with a cousin. Share it with people inside of your circle, whoever that may be. Because it's very clear to me that with No More Pie, No More Exposure, this transcends any and every industry. But thankfully, we specialize in the area that we do. So I just want to say that real quick, bro. My fault.
Nah, I appreciate that, man. And we're going to end with that. We're going to holler at y'all.
Yeah.